Hey, how are you doing? Money is barometer of national power, and money is barometer of national defense and security, and money is barometer of social status, and money is barometer of attractiveness to the other sex, and money is barometer of fame acquisition from people. So these factors are far away from its original feature that simply allows us to exchange it with something. And before we know it, the concept of money implants the sense of privilege in our mind that is sometimes seen as the tool of security to protect or privilege authority and power produced by money from enemies. And these are all evidence that we human beings recognize money as the existence bigger than the actual substance. As Adam Smith said, in the wealth of nations, since money became more than just a tool of equivalent exchange, and its feature enable us to save, the economic society has rapidly developed because the idea that people can accumulate wealth made it possible to buy something or invest surplus assets in something more valuable than the things that people can get with equivalent exchange. But at the same time, we produced byproducts with the feature of money that allows us to save, which was a sense of privilege and sense of superiority. And how much money people can accumulate can become standard of indicators in the world, regardless of whether the target is a country or people. How much money you can earn and how much money you can save can be an indicator of your social ability that decides which social class you belong to in your society, and how much money a country can earn and how much money a country can accumulate can be an indicator of a country's power that will measure productivity of all industries in the country. So elements of competition will work on our society more and more fiercely, and people's sense of privilege that comes from competitive advantage will puff them up more and more. And people are caught up with an illusion of money whose existence is more than an actual substance, and they produce social status and fame and privilege for themselves that are elements configuring society. So this illusion makes it possible to realize desire that they want to be superior to others. In my opinion, economic prosperity that we enjoy nowadays has been developed with people's sense of superiority and sense of privilege that was brought by people's extreme expectation value against money beyond simple money definition that money is no more than a tool of equivalent exchange. So, behind the scenes of social prosperities, most of people have been bound by negative emotions like resentment, jealousy, and envy, and sense of revenge that triggered so many conflicts and war, regardless of country or people when we look back our history. So now great national powers or big countries are used in national security because they are frightened by the threat of enemies who have designs on the country's wealth. So it is a really ironic story that our wealth is on the foundation of equilibrium of national security with a background of military force to keep mutual countries in check. So, of course, we have an opinion that these were necessary sacrifices that we must experience in the process of acquiring civilized society. But fundamentally, having a lot of money misleads people into trying to predominate in any fields with a sense of privilege, no matter what kind of sacrifice they were willing to take. So, if money hadn't become the existence more variable than its actual substance, the idea of conquest of someone and the idea of conquest of country wouldn't have come to light in our society. Of course, we might not have enjoyed advanced economic society that we are having nowadays. But originally, the progress of human spirituality should keep pace with the progress of economic growth, step by step and little by little. And that will minimize conflicts and war and unbalanced economic power by countries. So the final destination that people filled with vanity will reach is, I think, devastation on the earth. So power produces arrogance. So if super ancient civilization like Atlantis or Mu existed before our civilization that we are having now and went to ruin because of people's sense of privilege and the sense of superiority produced by something substitute for money that we are using now, we are repeating the same mistake and following the same course of Atlantis or Mu. So accumulating wealth may be the primary condition to make the civilized society grow up, but we have to introspect. The money is not the thing that implants the sense of privilege and the sense of superiority in our minds and inflames the principle of competition pointlessly. So we have to gradually grow up as we look around and see what happens around us without rushing, and we also have to have a kind of mercy that brings us feeling of helping each other, and we have to be considerate of others. This is, I think, a very important thing, the important point that we have to share each other.